Join the team.
Hey team, it's McGuire Review, and today we're going to take a look at some Eberron stuff. Now, Eberron has been out for a little while, but this is just such a cool set, and I really wanted to take a look at it. This is the Eberron Skycoach, the legendary Skycoach, the premium set. I'm really excited about getting into this one and setting it up. We're going to set it up here on camera and take a look at it. This is just such a cool little ship. And then we got a short stack, I like to call it today. We're going to do a little short stack unboxing of 4 of the most recent Eberron set. This is Rising from the Last War. It is a standard set. It's got the 44 figures in it that you can collect. And there is a number of really cool sculpts in here. I hope we got some of the sweet ones. I'm really looking for, the Raptor. I really want the Raptor. I mean, out of all the sculpts, I really want the Raptor. But there are a number of other... Oh, there's this horse, too. Something with a V. Something with a V. Like a purple horse with speckled teal paint. It's sweet. All right, so hopefully we get that one. So we're going to open these after we open this. So we're going to stick with the premium set first, and then we're going to do the box set. These are, like we've done many other unboxings on the channel, these are Wizkids items in partnership with Dungeons & Dragons that do produce these fantastic premium sets, as well as our blind boxes here. So we're going to grab the Cleave, because they are just killing it with their sets. And I love when they do these ships and vehicles as well. So we're going to open this one up. I do like, and I'll call out a few things here. I do like the fact that there is some really cool artwork on this box that features, and you can see it on the side here pretty well, features the kind of the dinosaur, the raptor type look, which is pretty cool. I just love the Eberron setting. It's definitely one of my favorite settings that have come out in a while. I have the book. I have not had the chance to play in this setting, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but I do love... What is the deal? Give it the old push through. I will say the contents: you get the Skycoach, you get a gangplank, you get a ladder, you get a source sled, and you get a source sled extension pegs. Okay, so that's these things that you're seeing there, sort of the soaring through the air magic. So we're going to put that box right over there. And now we can, and probably shouldn't have done that. That was a little sloppy. The boat, or the ship, I don't want to call it a boat, is technically a ship, was packaged nicely, had a couple pieces here that was holding it in. So we'll put those over there. We do have a clear base here. The Skycoach, well, the coach, that's what we'll call it. The Coach. 2020 Wizards, made in China. We got there on the bottom. It's pretty large, actually, on this one. All the printing on the bottom there. And you've got your clear base. Here is the Coach. Looks nice. Looks to be one solid piece. Definitely a few areas we're going to snap things in. I'm not seeing anything that moves. Hang on. This. Okay. This is a little loose right here because it's sort of, somewhat of a cardboard insert. You could pop that out. I don't think you're supposed to, though. It looks like it's secured in there pretty good. Although I am able to kind of pop it out. You can if you want, I guess, and there is some storage in there. You could put something down there, like a little secret item, but I don't believe that's supposed to be pulled out of there at all. You can remove it if you want to, though. So there's the ship. Now we'll go into some of these ladders. This is good. These are nicely put in here and secure. They're not taped, which is fine because they are really locked in there well. This section here is taped for some of these items. So we'll get the little wind sails pulled out of there. These are pretty cool. I really like the paint job. Actually, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to set this here. Let's look inside the box. I love the artwork inside of this box. How cool is that? It's got some of the characters there from the setting. Definitely got the raptor in there as well. That's a really cool insert. I love the artwork on that. And it's just got that deep yellow kind of sepia feel to it. That's really nicely done. So we're going to put that right over here. And then let's pop out each one of these. You can see it did come in quite a few little pieces for this one. Let's see how this all goes together. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. This is going to be for the ship. That's probably, yep. So there is, that's cool. So they built a little track on the bottom of the ship that this piece here actually slides into. So that's interesting. So you'll slide that all the way up until it stops. Once you put it on the stand, you're not going to have any of those weight distribution issues. So let's take this. Let's go ahead and pop it right down on the stand. Okay. That is now locked in. You heard that nice snap. So that's locked in really nice. You can do different sizes if you wish, and that's why these pieces are included, which is cool. You can also, you could really also dub these as sort of flight stands if you had another little piece of, plexiglass or something that you could set on top of there. You could probably even dub these and use them kind of as, you could probably just stand a miniature right on top of there and have it be able to say, you know what, we're going to try that. Okay, here we go. So we got a couple. Let's just actually see how that would, could you even do that? You could. Look at that. Look at that. And it stands pretty well. I mean, if I bumped the table, I'm sure they would fall off, but just setting it down there. So you could even dub these around the table as just makeshift flight stands. So that's pretty cool. We will put, you know what? We're going to take these out of here because I don't want to make anybody think that maybe those came out of this set here. That's awesome. Okay, how do I build this thing? So I brought the box back here to ensure that we do build this correctly. So I'll put this right over here so we can see that, and we build this thing correctly. Now, this piece has like a little ball on it, okay? And that goes right into the sides, and I have noticed that it is a fairly tight. And let's get the right one. Let's do it right to the image. So it should be the shorter side and the longer side goes here. Okay, and it is. I'm actually going to pull these off because I don't want to crack something as I'm trying to muscle this in here, because this piece here definitely. I mean, you've really got to push. Yeah, and it needs to go in all the way, because if you don't push it in all the way. Okay, so that's the best way to do it. Don't just try to shove it straight in. Like, push and slowly twist, and that plastic will pop in there. I was kind of trying initially to just push it in, and I felt like maybe I would snap it or break it. So just, hold that whole entire thing, like have a grip on it, on the ball. Okay? And push and twist. Okay? Do with that what you wish. All right, so this side here, same look. The shorts up front, the longer piece towards the back. And I like the fact that it is a kind of a ball joint, because now you've got sort of some movement there for different posing options. Like it's braking, or it's, maybe that's full speed, maybe that's like, gliding. So whatever the scenario is that you're kind of trying to paint, you've got different options there for posing. So let's do that same thing. Holding it here, twist, push, twist, push, twist, push. Okay, and it's locked. Okay. So we're good there. Man, that is looking so awesome. This bigger one here is going to go right at the back, and that is just going to lock right in. I feel like it should go all the way down, and it does. So that's all the way in and locked down. I love that too, kind of that rudder, being able to sort of change that, as you move around. Possibly you move around a map. This is really well done. I'm really loving this thing. Okay, and then we've got 3 kind of tail fins. I believe they're all 3 different. No, these are the same. This one is different. So this is probably the center one, and then those are the sides. So right here, we're going to snap this in. I do want to be really careful with this here. Okay, that's in, and that's in. Okay. And that does have the ability to move a little bit as well. Generally, these premium, the vehicles and the sets are a little bit more expensive. So you do want to be careful as you're putting those together. And you want them to get together properly so it actually looks right. Okay, that is the ship. Now there's a number of options you can do with your little ladders here. You know, you can set this right across, not have your ladder. You can take the plank and attach it to either side, which is nice depending on what your situation is. Or you can have the plank kind of coming off, you know, have to snap it in there, coming off a side, and then you can have your ladder hanging off the other side, which is pretty cool. And that's probably how I would display it there. I'd set it up with the ladder and the plank. And that looks, you know, give it a little bit of dynamic feel with maybe some of the rudders turning a little bit, and maybe the windsail in the back kicked off a little bit to the side, and just give it kind of a real, you know, dynamic feel there as you set it up and you display it if you're not technically using it. Really nice piece. Love that. Let's go here. Put this together. These are pretty cool too. So we got all those popped together. We're just going to leave those at full height. I'm going to put that ship right here. Just rocking it. Rocking it out. Rocking it out. Flying as the coach. Not afraid of anything. Okay. So we'll put that like that. I'll just put 3 on this side. That looks pretty sweet like that. Get that set up straight there. And there it is. That's a Skycoach. Eberron Skycoach premium set. It's awesome. Let's look at some of the details. You know, as I've put it together, I was really looking it over well. I'm loving the paint job on this one. I like the fact that they went with sort of this bronzy gold. Looks really good around that ship. It gives it kind of a magical sort of feel. But yet, pairing that with just the tethered sort of patchwork together wooden fins that make up everything that's sort of keeping it airborne. So I love the design of the Skycoach and how they've put this together. The paint job, I would say, here on the fins is done very, very well. The grays with the brown, there's a ton of different colors and washing to make it look like it's an old sort of canvas tethered material that was used to put it together. And then the actual areas that are cut out but then patched back in with the little stitching. Really well done. I love the translucent. Any of the translucent type stuff always really appeals to me. So I love the translucent materials they've used here as these little pads. And let's just put, let's do another little test again. We'll grab a random bard here and put him right up front. And there you go. You can see how that base fits perfectly inside of there. The top of these are actually not flat. They are, I wouldn't say hollowed out. They're just slightly cut out to perfectly fit. I don't know how deep that is, but it's not very deep at all. But it's just hollowed out to perfectly fit one of these standard D&D sized bases that will go right on top of it. And it is, you can see, it's locked in there. Okay, it's not just sitting flush on the top to just slide out. Now I can by jiggling it, but it is locked in there. So that's pretty cool. All right, so well done on this. I love this set. And if this is something that interests you, again, it's very reusable for a lot of things. I would definitely check this one out if you're looking for something that is some type of flying ship that is smaller and it isn't like giant. I think this is going to work really well. And I also think that you can, as you saw, you can pop off maybe this top fin and these side fins, and then it sort of just represents a standard boat. I mean, you could take off all the fins, and you just basically now got a standard boat that you can go on some type of nautical quest with as well. So just think about that when it comes to this premium set. I think there's a lot of different ways to modify this, to use it in a lot of different scenarios. All right, we're getting into the short stack now. Really excited about this. We're going to take the plastic off. Okay, this one's got a little bit of weight. This one's got the most. All right, we're going to leave that one for last. We're going to do this one first. We're going to do this one last. This is the order that we're going to go in. Right here. 1, 2, 3. This is where we're going to start. I'm going to open these boxes. When we are on the last one, I really like to go through each one and give you a good impression of what I think of the sculpt and the paint quality of that sculpt. As we're on the last one, before we start to get into that box, we're going to get to see all these up close on the miniature cam, so be watching for that. We will do them up close on the miniature cam, but first, you know, we got to do the excitement of the unboxing. That's part of the deal here, okay? Where's our first one? What do we got? Okay. I got to be careful sometimes I throw them, and then it's like there's one left in. So you are going to get the 3 smaller and the one, medium large that is going to be included here. Let's pop this one out. I do not remember. This is the gray render. Okay. Did not remember the actual name of this one. So this is the gray render. Look at that. It does have some good muscle tones sculpting all the way around it. I love how they've done. So my favorite part of this sculpt is definitely the head. I would say the rest of what's here isn't. It's fairly standard in the way that it looks, but the head sculpt is done really, really well. I love how the mouth is open wide, the teeth come down, they're dark, really dark mouth and teeth. And then they've got these little tight, highly sculpted yellow eyes, and the paint is just dabbed in there, and it's really tight. It's not slopped around the side. This is one of the things that I'm seeing better and better from these sets is their ability in manufacturing to get these paint apps in very tight little spots on the eyes, in the mouths, and even on the garbs, the clothing. It's getting better and better. We're also seeing more and more layers of paint being added to these sculpts. So you're getting the grays, the browns, even some lighter grays that are all on the sculpt. Different washes, different dry brushing to make the life and the feel of this really come out a lot more. So that's really cool. That's what I like about that one. Put it right there. Again, miniature cam's going to hit them when we get to the 4th one here. Throw this out. And, oh, sweet. What is this? Is the Dwarf Mage Right, 10 of 44. Hang on, what was this one? 27 of 44 is what that was. So it's not a rare. 27 of 44. This is 10 of 44. Dwarf Mage Right. Very cool little dwarf sculpt. It's got the kind of the mohawk. I like the teal with the darker. It's almost like pouches around the belt holding various different maybe vials or instruments, and then a translucent, I would say some form of a translucent spell that's happening there in the hand, and just a great pose of just like, yeah, I got this. I love this. This is a great one. Very cool. All right, next one. We've got the 19 of 44. This is the Shifter Druid. Excellent. I would call this more of a standard sculpt Druid. It does look, I hate to use the word basic, but it is a very, somewhat of a basic presentation of a Druid. Just a standard bow staff, or really just a stick that the Druid is holding, with some simple green and brown clothing. And then it actually has a really cool pouch hanging off the side with maybe some feathers, it looks like, hanging down from it. So if you're looking for more of just a basic sort of woodland-style woodland-style Druid, I think this would work pretty well. I also think this would dub very well for just a standard NPC, or maybe a character, well, like an NPC that you'd basically run into, or, you could use this for lots of different things. Again, all of these are so versatile. So there's that one, and that one was 19 out of 44. Here we are on the last one. Now we're going to load up that miniature cam so you can get a look there. This is 22 of 44, the Human Artificer. This is one that I really wanted. Artificer is carrying a You know, it looks like something out of one of the Marvel films. You know, that guy's got that big maul that he like slaps the Power Stone into. That's kind of what the weapon looks like. This is really cool. I love the sculpt. I love sort of the power pose, and I love this weapon and how they've given it sort of this bluish teal paint job that's on the sides and in the center of it. This is really cool. I like this one. That's very nice. Okay, we're going to go here now. Come on. You know the ones I want. You know the ones I want. I gotta get it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, and a 3. All right, what do we have here is the half ogre. This is an AB, so we got a 25B out of 44. Little bit of bendage there on the spear, which is something we do generally see because that's a pretty flexible plastic. Again, most of the time you kind of just get it where you want it, and it generally is fine. Sometimes you got to like heat it up a little bit and cool it down, and it's no big deal. All right, you can lock it in perfect. And some people don't even care, right? Me, I'm more of a perfectionist when it comes to these miniatures, so for what they are, I do like them to be pretty much perfect, and I do get them that way before I put them in the case or before I use them. This one is pretty cool. This one's got a little bit of problems on its eyes. Not as tight as I would like to see, and on its teeth, not as tight as I would like to see. The whites of the teeth it almost looks like it was scuffed off a little bit, so that's not as tight as I would like to see in compared to some of these other ones. But again, every one of these is not going to be absolutely perfect, but I will call that out from a review perspective. And the wash I find on this one to be pretty heavy, but it's heavy in spots, but that's probably okay because you do kind of want that real gritty, dirty look, I think, that they're going for. I love the fact how there's this what looks like a flagon or something, like something that's hanging from his belt that almost could be like a giant like wooden beer cup. Maybe it's something else, but it kind of looks like that. And I think that's really cool. Okay, 25B out of 44, half ogre. Ooh. This one was a cool one. So let's go here. This is 35 of 44. This one was actually a really cool one. And it is the Hashalak Quarry. It is the Hashalak Quarry. 35 out of 44. And it has a really cool transition of translucent materials. Where it goes sort of from a darker kind of crystallized gray, but still hitting those blues on the feet. That's a real nice mix. And then going into almost a clear and then into a darker blue. And then the blue on all of the feet and the hands there. That is a really, really cool piece. I love the way that they use that translucent plastic to sort of spin that through. Okay. Next one here we have is, if I can get it in my hands, the Kalashtar 6 of 44. This one's pretty cool. Again, it has, something I'm noticing with this particular set, or just the brick that I got, is there is some heavier washing than I've seen in some of their most recent sets. Not that it's a bad thing, and it does provide more of this sort of Eberron, gritty kind of feel, which I think is what they're going for here. But that's just something to understand if you are picking these up. This set does seem to have a little bit of a heavier washing on it. And this one here is pretty cool. We got some really detailed sculpting in the actual, if you could call this sort of like a dress that she's wearing. A lot of sculpting here in the back of this dress as it kind of drapes down, or those garbs that she's got on. That's really cool. I love the pink. You don't see a lot of pinks in their paint jobs. I generally find I don't see a lot of these like lighter pinks, and this is all like whites and lighter pinks with a silver hair, just holding a dagger with a little bit of gold paint apps, and jewelry on the arms. This is a very cool sculpt, actually. I really like that. All right, and I like the fact that they went with those colors. Okay, this is a 16 of 44. It's a shifter rogue. Pretty cool. So this is the shifter. A little piece of plastic there from the bag still stuck. So we got a shifter rogue, and that's a pretty cool sculpt as well. That could be highly used in a lot of different things, being a shifter. Very cool. All right, now we're getting into the two. No, this is not the two heaviest boxes. This was a heavy box. This is a heavy box. Come on, Raptor. Oh, let's do the Raptor. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay, hang on. I don't see Raptor. I don't see Raptor, but I do see this, and this is cool. This is the Living Spell Lightning Bolt. 28 of 44. This is awesome. And not only does it look cool, it's a Living Spell Lightning Bolt. So you can use this for a lot of different things. I like what they did here, because what they did was they could have just had this translucent blue, and obviously blue would have been the color. They could have went with a yellow for Lightning Bolt, but I like the blue. I think one thing you could have done to make this even better, though, is very similar of what you did here with kind of the transition of these two different translucent plastics. If you would have put a little bit of probably yellow that transitioned into blue, or just some spotty yellow. No, the transition, like blue transitioning into yellow, or vice versa, I think would have looked really, really cool and really would have made this piece pop. However, they could have just laid this right on the base, but they put it wrapped over this set of rocks, which is done really well from a sculpting and a washing perspective. These rocks look really good. They actually look as good as what we see in some of the premium edition painted stuff that we're going to be taking a look at on the channel as well. So this one, awesome. I love it. Right, we're going to put it right there. Very well done. Let's get into the three littles that we've got here. Coming up on that last one. I know I'm getting nervous about maybe not having the... This one is not a dupe. It looks the same, but it's different. This is one of the things maybe I should ask. I don't necessarily understand, because this is the 16 of 44 Shifter Rogue. This is also the Shifter Rogue. 3 out of 44. So this was going to be more of a rare Shifter Rogue. But if you look at them, they are the exact same identical sculpt, outside of the rarer one is holding a dagger in the hand there. Other than that, they are identical in every way. Sculpt, look, paint job, everything about them is identical. Everything's the same. Outside of this one holding that dagger and this one not holding a dagger, okay? Why not just make this a 16A and a 16B? Or, an A and a B versus not. I'm not sure why, but that's what's been done here. So just know that some of these, and we've seen that this way in a few of the recent unboxings, some of these might appear to be AB models, but they're not. You will find some of them that look exactly the same with a little bit of difference, and that little bit of difference is what makes that particular sculpt really rare. And maybe it's just because of the significance of that sculpt in the set, in the storyline. That's probably what it is. We're going to put that right down there. That is a rare. I think it's probably the first rare that we've actually got. And here is a Shifter Druid. So this is a dupe. So this is the first dupe. It's another one of these Shifter Druids that we've got here. And I would say, that we've already seen that sculpt. So we'll just put that right down there. And then let's go to the last one. Oh, this was a cool one. I really wanted this one. This is awesome. Another rare, 4 out of 44, the Iron Defender. This was a really cool one. I'm glad that I got it. Look how cool that is. Great paint apps on that silver. It's kind of like it's basically a mechanical dog. And it's got these spikes all the way down the back. This is just a very cool piece. This can be used as a companion in a lot of different ways. Let's say you're a ranger. This could possibly be your companion or something that you run into. You're able to make use of. That is really awesome. I love that one. So I'm so excited we got that. All right, great. Here we go. Last box. Now we do it. Last box. I hope there's no dupes on the bigs. So hopefully we get something different there. And this one did carry some weight. Oh, here we go. Here it is. It's a 1, 2, 3. Ready? Okay. Okay, this is good. I'm seeing good things. Okay. So let's pop this one out. Let's pop it out. The Unk Egg 31 of 44. This has a really, like, out of the sculpts that are in this set, I will say this is one of the most impressive, if I can say. I wouldn't say anywhere near the most rare, but very impressive sculpt in the amount of sculpting that's in this and the detail and how they've done the paint job in this particular one. And what you'll be able to see on the close-up miniature cam is how the reds and the yellows are mixed in and painted with the brown. It's a very intricate set of detail that they do around these arms and at the head, which is very impressive on this sculpt. And everything is very, very tight. Its little black beady eyes are very tight. The differences of, I mean, literally on these mandibles or the big pinchers there, there's a dark brown, a light brown, a yellow, and it's all washed and dry brushed. So it's like there's a lot going on this particular sculpt, and it's actually, in my opinion, one of the most impressive in the set. So make sure to check that one out. Now we've got here the next. Oh, sweet! This is the Dahlgrim at 13 out of 44. This was a very unique, crazy-looking little sculpt. 4 arms, not technically 2 heads. It's like 1 head enlarged with 2 mouths, 1 nose, 2 eyes. It looks like 2 ears. Holding this really cool shield, and it's neat because they went with. We got 2 weapons here, a kind of a ball mace, and then we have the standard kind of long sword or broadsword. And then the shield, and then this hand just sort of open in the fist, ready to do some bludgeoning damage. This was a really cool one. That's pretty awesome that we got that. All right, let's look at the next one here. This one looks like it has encountered a significant amount of bendage, and that's going to have to be fixed. So that one did get that one got hit pretty hard. This one is the Tarkanan Assassin, 8 of 44. I love the translucent yellow they use there on sort of the magic sword. But this one's just got all kinds of damage. Well, not technically not damage because it's all fixable, but this one's going to require quite a bit of fixing. I'm going to have to heat this one up, cool down, both on the swords and the actual stand pose, because this is a really cool piece. Really, really interesting. Very intricate as well. I like that the little sheaths here for the swords come down, and they're actually kind of separate pieces than the sculpt. So that's a really nice piece. We're going to fix that one up, though. And here is the last one, which I do believe carries a little bit of price, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. This is the Dahlgrim, 24 of 44, and it's got a real kind of interesting look as well. It almost appears. You know, it's got a very sort of goblin type facial structure, but it's all the pinks, as you see, with sort of those, you know, tentacles coming out the back. I love the posing. There's a lot of sculpting on the rib cage and the actual like little garment thing that it's got wrapped around it there. There's a couple different colors, green and brown. There's a lot of sculpting that's actually in that. It looks really cool. But again, kind of heavy on the washing sort of through certain areas. But it does kind of give it that grimy, you know, feel, which I think fits just fine. So that's a really cool sculpt. You can check that one out. Okay, that is everything that we have for the Eberron unboxing. I don't know, maybe we can do more of the Eberron. I really like the sculpts in this set. There's certain ones that I really, really wanted to be able to take a look at and be able to show everybody. I think we've got some really cool ones. We definitely got some really cool ones today. And you can see all of those up close on the miniature cam. And just how cool some of those sculpts are from this absolutely fantastic setting of Eberron. Don't forget about the premium Skycoach, and check that out as well. So hit that like, hit the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them quits. I keep saying quits. So hit that like, hit the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time!